This is ABC 7 News, Chicago's #1 news, with Jose Sanders, Judy Sue, weather with meteorologist Tracy Butler, and Roz Varens traffic. This is ABC 7 News this morning.
Chicago Bears running back Cedric Benson in trouble again this morning after his second arrest in a little over a month. Police in Benson's hometown of Austin, Texas, arrested him on drunk driving charges. Officers say he ran a red light, then failed a field sobriety test. Former Cook County State's Attorney Thomas Glasgow is now a criminal defense attorney in private practice, and he joins us this morning. We'll look at legally what this means for Benson. Good to have you back with us.
Good morning.
You've learned some different information than what was initially in the newspaper articles about this.
That's correct. What was initially reported in the papers is different than the affidavit that was actually filed by the Austin police. What occurred was on Saturday at 2:18 a.m. an officer had seen Mr. Benson driving through 3 lanes of traffic. He did not use his signal and apparently went to a red light, almost striking a pedestrian. He stopped the car. When he ended up stopping the car, he determined that there was a strong odor of alcoholic beverage on the breath, thought that he was a DUI, and then called one of his DWI backup officers, who subsequently performed several field sobriety tests on Mr. Benson. Mr. Benson is alleged to, in the affidavit, to not be able to complete the field sobriety test, not be able to do the turn properly, not be able to do the walk part properly, not be able to maintain his balance, and not be able to stand on one leg, which is unusual because he is a professional athlete. He then failed to do the chemical testing, and when he failed to do the chemical testing, they placed him under arrest.
So not just blowing a yellow light, as he said.
The affidavit is different than what has been first reported, yes.
Well, let's talk about this, because how this would affect it. Let's say that personal conduct clause in the NFL contracts. How will this really affect that?
You're quite correct. The NFL personal conduct clause has a clause in there that specifically enumerates crimes like resisting arrest, which he was previously arrested for in the BUI. If you have a resisting arrest or you violate the conduct clause, then you must go through counseling. There's a secondary clause in there that says if you are arrested during the course of the time that you are being counseled, it can subject you to fines and discipline under the NFL's policy.
From a legal standpoint, before we go, what do you think is going to happen?
This is a real difficult case for me to judge at this point, because we don't know what the officers, we do know what the officer is going to say, but we don't know what Mr. Benson is going to say. And we also don't know if there's a videotape, and the videotape will bear out a lot of whether or not he's guilty or not guilty.
And coming after this boating thing and the one in Skokie,
yes,
doesn't look good, does it?
Well, I mean, you remember what happened to Tank Johnson, and I think the Bears are going to have little tolerance for someone who repeatedly thumbs their nose at, the Bears coach and the Bears general manager.
All right, thank you very much. Good to have you with us, as always.